What's up, everybody? So today it's going to be a different sort of video. So we will be looking at RLCS, how they're performing this season. If you don't know what RLCS is, it's Rocket League Championship Series. Rocket League is a video game that I've taken interest in the past month. So yeah, we're gonna start out with NA, which is North America, with the number 10 seed currently, which is Rogue. Rogue has a squad of Kronovi, Wonder, and First Killer. Kronovi was on iBuyPower and he won the first ever RLCS World Championship. First Killer is a really good player at ones. Had a rivalry with Scrub Killer, which is another player, and Wonder, which is a toxic player. They aren't doing that good that season. They are currently sitting at a 29.2 win percentage, and they're on a 4-game losing streak. They lost week 1 against somebody, and then I know week 2 they beat Cloud9, and then they've been just on a losing streak for 4 games, which Cloud9 is their only win so far. So yeah, moving on from Rogue, we have Flight, which is a new team. Flight is composed of Memory, Seabass, and Rapid. So their only win goes against United, which was previously the Birds in another season, or the last season. They have a 33.3 win percentage, and that their only win was their most recent game. So yeah, they're on a 1-game winning streak. Yeah. Some things about the players. Memory, he is not doing very well this season. Seabass, I don't know who he is. And Rapid, he used to be a Rocket League scammer. So, yeah. Next up, in the number 8 seed, Cloud9. Cloud9 is my favorite NA team. They're currently sitting at 1-4, their only win going against Flight, which was 3-1. They're sitting at a 35% chance, or winning percentage, and a 2-game losing streak. They're composed of Squishy, Torment, and Gimmick. Gimmick, I think he is the one bringing the team down. So, yeah. Because Torment is a solid player defensively, and Squishy's just a solid player in general. Next, we have United, which, oh yeah, Rogue's only win was against Cloud9, if I didn't mention that. So next is United, who is sitting at 2-4. I don't know who they beat. They are sitting at a 42.9% win rate and 2 losses. I know the most recent game was against Flight and they lost. So yeah, they are composed of Hawkser, Roldiz, and Ajax. Last season, as I mentioned earlier, there were the Birds. Yeah, this season, they're just a middle tier team. They aren't bad, but they aren't great, like NRG or SSG. So yeah, moving on from them, because they really have nothing to talk about them. I don't really know them. We have Pittsburgh Knights, sitting also at 2-4, have a 44.4% win percentage, and are on a 3-game losing streak. So Pittsburgh Knights is composed of Gyro, Reddles, and AJ, who AJ last season was on Rogue, but then he got cut and First Killer was signed. I like Pittsburgh as well, Pittsburgh Knights, because I've met one of the players, not in real life, but in a game. Gyro, I met Gyro, or Gyro, I don't know, in a snow day match. So shout out to him. Probably not gonna watch this, but yeah. I really want them to win. I know they beat Ghost and somebody else. But yeah. Next up, we have Ghost Gaming, who are sitting at 3-3. 52% chance of winning, and a 1-game winning streak. So Ghost is composed of Atomic, who is a really great player, Illusion, and Mist, who last season was on Pittsburgh Knights, and I think they were better last season than they were this season. Yeah. So Ghost, I don't really have anything to say about Ghost. I know they won their most recent game. So yeah. Then we have the Sonics. This is also a new team, as well as Flight. We're in the 9th spot. They are sitting at 4-1, so no team has 2 losses so far. A 60.9% chance of winning, and a 4-game winning streak. So since they're 4-1, they lost their first game. I don't know who it was against, and then they've won every single game after that. Yeah, this team is composed of Shock, who is currently probably the most goated player. Dapper, who has had some experience in RLCS before, and Sathu, who was cut from another team that we'll mention now. Space Station Gaming, also sitting at 4-1, 61.9% chance, or win percentage, and 3-game winning streak. So yeah, Sathu was cut from this team, and replaced by Arsenal alongside with Sipical and AXB. Currently, I think this team is one of the best teams. They're sitting at the number 3 seed. Their only loss came from the Sonics, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Sathu got cut. I don't think in the last season, but in the season before, and then came back on another team and the Space Station lost. Coming in at number 2, we have NRG, Energy Esports, who are 5-1, have a 65.4% win percentage, and are sitting 2-game winning streak. Energy, their only loss came from Space Station. And if you don't know, Energy are the reigning champions. They won the Season 8 with a trio of Justin, who is a really mechanically gifted player, Turbo Pulsa, who has won 4 times, and Garrett G, who has been in every single RLCS since the beginning. They've changed their logo in the previous seasons. And yeah, moving on to the number 1 seed. And if you play Rocket League, you probably know who it is because I said all the other teams. G2 Esports. G2 is popping off this season. 5-0, the only undefeated team in NA. Sitting at a 78.9% win percentage, which is over 10% better than NRG, and they're, of course, at a 5-game winning streak. This team is composed of Rizzo, JNaps, and Chicago. Kernovi, who I mentioned earlier, was on this team for a good amount of time, and he got cut, or he left, I don't know, and then got replaced by Chicago. So yeah. That's NA. Moving on to the EU, we have the worst team in the whole entire RLCS, not player-wise, but record-wise, is AS Monaco. And you're probably like, oh, why is the soccer team in esports? Because it's car soccer. This team is composed of Extra, iGnite, and Tigray. Tigray, in my opinion, as well as other people, is bringing the team down. I don't think he's that great of a player, but he could probably beat me anytime. But, yeah. And iGnite was cut from a team that we'll mention right now, TSM. You probably are like, why is this team in EU, or why is this team ranked so low? Because I don't know why it's in EU, but the reason why it's ranked so low. Oh, I forgot to mention AS Monaco's ranking. They're 0-7, by the way. 25% win rating. TSM has a 33.3% win rating and are 1-6. So not much better than TSM, but TSM's only win was, AS Monaco. TSM's only win was against AS Monaco. So, yeah. This team is composed of Remco, who won the Season 3 RLCS, Metza and Magnus. I think Metza and Magnus are not great players, not as great as they used to be, but they were pretty great in the prior seasons. Yeah, Remco won with Devo, who is on another team, and Turbo Posa, who we mentioned in NA. Yeah, so next we have Team Singularity, mostly known this season for upsetting Renault Vitality, who have won Season 7. This team is composed of Godsmilla, Though, and Nolly, who has hit the most insane angle play this season. Yeah, as I said, they're 2-5. Their only wins coming against Renault Vitality, as I said, which if you haven't seen the game-winning play, you should watch it, and TSM, who I just mentioned. So, yeah. Next is Endpoint, who I think are also a new team. This team is composed of Virtuoso, Nachitao, and Relating Wave. They're 2-4. I don't know who they beat, or I don't really know anything about Endpoint in general. Yeah, moving on to Mouse Sports. This team is composed of Cooksier, Speed, and Scrubkilla, who we mentioned in the beginning part of this video since he had a rivalry with Scrub. First Killer. Yeah. They recently got reverse sweeped by Dignitas, which is currently higher than them, of course. But yeah, they're 4-3. No team has 3 wins in EU. Yeah. Their wins... Yeah, okay. Moving on to FC Barcelona. You're probably also wondering, why is this team in esports? Why not? This team is composed of Flakes, who is a coach, or was a coach at least, Devo, and Ronicky. As I mentioned Devo before with Remco and TSM. He won Season 3, and he is now 4-2. So yeah, on Barca. Moving on to number 4, we have Reciprocity, formerly known as PSG or Paris Saint-Germain, or German, I don't know. They're 4-2. This team is composed of Farah, Fruity, and Chaussette 45, which means sock in French. So, yeah. Next is Veloce. They're currently 5-2. This team is composed of Freaky, Casio, and Flame. Yeah, this team last season was luck-based entirely. They made it to land last season because a team had to disband. It was just yeah. There are only losses coming from, I know one was against Barca. I don't know where the other one was. Maybe it was against Vitality or Dignitas? It was against Vitality or Dignitas because they beat Reciprocity, they beat Endpoint, Singularity, and Monaco, and TSM. So yeah. Next is Renault Vitality. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, they lost against Singularity in a Game 5 overtime upset. This team is composed of K-Dop, Fairy Peak, and Alpha 54. Last season, Scrubkilla was on this team, and he got cut because he didn't speak French, but K-Dop and Fairy Peak did. So now Scrubkilla is on Mouse Sports and is not doing that great. As I mentioned, they got reverse sweeped by the #1 team, which is Dignitas, who will move on to Vitality won Season 7 RLCS, and Dignitas, the #1 team, the only undefeated team in EU, 5-0 with G2. Them and G2 are the only undefeated teams. And this team is composed of Violent Panda, Yukio, and Astral. This team is so good in comms. I've been watching Violent Panda and Yukio's channel. I don't know if Astral has a channel. Maybe he does, I don't know. But yeah, Dignitas actually has won 2 RLCS championships. One under a different name, though. If you look it up, you only see like one thing under the Dignitas name. It's because back in Season 4, the name was Gale Force, and that team was composed, I know it was Turbo and K-Dop, and I don't know the other person. I think it was Fairy, I don't know, Fairy Peak, I don't know. But yeah, they won Season 4, and then they won Season 5 with the same team against NRG. Yeah. And now they're making a run for another one 3 times. So yeah, let's just, real quick, let's just go through all of the RLCS winnings. So as I mentioned earlier, Kronovi, Gambit, Lichinio, and Overzero won RLCS Season 1. Season 2, I forgot who it went to in Season 2 and 3. I know, again, Gale Force won 4, Dignitas won 5. 6 went to Cloud9, actually. 7, Renault Vitality, and then 8 was Energy. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching this very long video of me going over Rocket League stuff. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you guys later.